everybody. Hello. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a brand new episode of Over the Line Hot Takes. Here we go yet again. Last one of the week, but we're here. Going to kind of wrap up some of the things we missed on the show, some of the things we didn't get to. That's always a thing. Every single day. We never are able to fit it all in, so that's why we bring this to you. First of all, if you're watching or listening to this, make sure you like, subscribe, comment, leave a review on the Apple Podcast, the Spotify, whatever it is. Show us some love, and that helps us get put back into the algorithm, because God knows the powers that be at social media, they don't want us anywhere near anybody's timeline. We fought that battle for a long, long time. So what's going on tonight? Well, a lot of things. We've got Cocaine Gate. We've got Joe Biden over in Lithuania doing the NATO stuff. But one thing we haven't touched on a lot as of late is Bud Light. Obviously, everyone knows about the Bud Light controversy at this point, and you may be asking yourself, I hadn't heard about it. What's happened? Have people given up, started drinking Bud Light again? Did they stick to their guns? Are they still boycotting Bud Light? What's the deal? Well, for once, and you don't see this too often, you think back, when it comes to boycotts, major boycotts, people, especially Americans, aren't good at sticking to them. They're good at doing them initially and holding off and not buying. They're good at it at first, but it always ends up fading off, whether that's things like the NFL or whatever. But the Bud Light thing, people have decided they're absolutely done with Bud Light. And here's the latest sign of that. Bud Light, cratering Bud Light, should I say, has received the painful star of death at a major retailer. Now, what does that mean? Well, Newsweek is reporting that social media sleuths have discovered that America's most disgraced beer company has received Costco's star of death. The star of death is a small asterisk located at the top right-hand corner of an item's price tags. Costco uses this to signal a product will be no longer restocked once it is sold out. One Twitter user displayed an image showing Bud Light being sold at $14.97 for a 2x12 pack. What is a 2x12 pack? The user said this meant Costco was practically giving away Bud Light. All right, here it is. Even Costco getting out of the game. 21. I'm trying to figure out. Oh, this is 24 16-ounce cans for $21.49. That's a good price. I'm gonna be honest. You know, if you're like me and you go to the beer store and yeah, you don't want to just buy any beer. It's not like you're buying, Ice House or anything. But you do look at the price and you're trying to see what's affordable. If you come across 24 16-ounce cans and it's only $21.49, I'm probably giving it a second look. But not Bud Light. I'm with y'all. I don't boycott, but it's been particularly easy to boycott Bud Light. Not to mention, I feel like, and y'all may feel the same way, you don't want to get caught anywhere drinking Bud Light. Like, you don't want to be at the bar. You don't want to go to a friend's house, a friend's barbecue, and either bring a case of Bud Light or to be caught drinking one. It's unnecessary drama that you don't need in your life. So it's easier just to go Coors, go Miller Lite, whatever. And most people think it tastes like crap anyway. They say it tastes like water. That's fine. Either I personally didn't think it was bad. I mean, it's just your average beer to me. But I'm not going to drink it. So the star of death, I had no idea this was a thing. Costco getting out of the game, the Death Star. Costco this morning practically giving away Bud Light. Costco says Star of Death for Bud Light. It will not be restocked. Ooh. This reported death blow comes as the woke beer company was hit with more embarrassing sales numbers. According to Nielsen IQ data, Bud Light sales cratered 28% over the 4-week period ending July 1st, and the number of units of beer sold was down over 31% compared with the same time last year. Bud Light received even worse news earlier this week as a recent survey revealed the beer had crashed to 14th place in terms of popularity with the public. Yahoo notes, this shift in popularity jeopardizes the livelihoods of 65,000 people whose jobs are linked to Anheuser-Busch's success. You know, that's one thing we talked about on the show, too, that I felt bad for, because we started seeing videos popping up on social media by, like, I guess they call them vendors. Some of y'all may not. Some of y'all may even work those jobs, where these vendors go and they go to see what a grocery store or a gas station needs and then turn around and restock it. And they make money off those sales. So it's in their best interest to keep it stocked up and, you know, so on and so forth. I guess it's a commission-based deal. And if Bud Light is, say, 60, say even 50% of what you sell, and then all of a sudden nobody's buying it anymore, so you're not being able to sell it, you're not able to make that commission, your commission checks are literally cut in half. And you're just a guy that sells beer. You don't care about Dylan Mulvaney. You may have been boycotting Dylan Mulvaney yourself, but inadvertently, you ended up suffering the consequences because of Bud Light's decision to partner with Dylan Mulvaney. And now look at that. In reality, that's who you got to feel bad for. This company's bad decisions, and don't get me wrong, I understand the head honchos at Bud Light, as soon as they saw the backlash, they're like, we didn't approve this. This wasn't our idea. It was some, jabroni that we hired, and we didn't know she was going to go this route. It is their fault for hiring the lady. Sometimes it's best, let's be honest, and I'm a millennial. I'm on the older end of millennials, okay? But sometimes, it's just best to not hire a millennial. I mean, I'm just going to be honest. Or, hear me out. Maybe it's better to put the millennial through a more strenuous interview process. Or a little more orientation, if you will. Just double check the millennials. Double check what's the next generation? Gen Z? Double check the Gen Z. I mean, what's it going to hurt? If they're the right person for the job, they'll pass the test. But you can't just be hired, we want some young, fresh people with some young, fresh ideas. You don't want young, fresh ideas. Not from this group. You really don't. And that may be the case with Maybelline, major cosmetic company. You familiar with Maybelline? Those of us guys, we obviously don't use Maybelline, but we've probably seen our wives or our girlfriends use Maybelline in the past. Well, Maybelline's decided to do the same thing. And they've decided to partner up with burly, bearded guys that wear makeup. Are y'all ready for this? Or if you're watching on YouTube or Rumble or Twitch, hold your breath for this one.
Mascara. This one has an exclusive flex wand that's going to help bend to volumize and extend every...
Check out this color and shine. It's so comfortable and it will not budge or smudge for up to 16...
Oh my God, check out this shine. Check out this lipstick. What are these people thinking? It's beyond belief. It's beyond explanation. I can't explain to you guys why they're doing this. Look, they've got more of them. Here's more big, burly, bearded guys putting on Maybelline makeup.
Prime Day on Amazon, so why not see if Maybelline has any deals going on? And look at that! Super Stay Vinyl Ink is 30% off, and my favorite colors are in stock and ready to ship. My Amazon order arrived the next day, and here I am, filming a makeup review. And baby, check out this color and shine. It's so comfortable, and it will not budge or smudge for up to 16 hours. Let me know what you think, and shop Maybelline Prime deals for 30% off right now.
Baby, check out this shine. Yeah. Oh, no. So, here's what happens. All right. It's different from traditional advertising. Now, back in the day, advertising anywhere would just be a big process, right? You would have to hire a production company. You would have to pay contracts, pay actors, all these different things to make an official commercial that you're going to put together, you're going to put on TV or whatever. That's the way it used to be. Even in radio, there's still some stuff that goes on in radio advertising-wise that was the same way back then. For instance, we have, in particular, restaurants or food vendors that will come up to the radio station, and if they've got a new product, you take Bluebell ice cream, for instance. Every time Bluebell has a new ice cream flavor, they drop off a bunch of tubs at the radio station and leave it in the break room. They do that because they want hosts coming in there trying the ice cream and they turn around and talking about it on air. You know, some of these tactics have been around for a long time. This is somewhat new, where companies look for people on social media that have huge followings, that are very influential. They partner up with them, and instead of doing a whole thing of hiring a production team and a film crew and everything else, they tell some bearded lady, hey, we'll pay you X number of dollars, and you just make a little video of you using our product and post it on social media. Say whatever you want. Just say good things about us, and that's it. And we'll pay you money. And, of course, these influencers are like, oh, they're going to pay me for doing what I already do. Of course I'll do that. Their thought process behind that is that these people have a lot. Their thought process is the people that are following them on social media think highly of them. And for the majority, that may be the case. So their eyes are locked in on advertising to those people. Because if their guy is promoting, if their favorite social media guy is promoting so-and-so's product, well, they're going to trust that guy, social media guy, and buy so-and-so's product. But what they don't seem to account for, and this is where the disconnect and why I can't understand why they're doing what they're doing, why are they picking such controversial figures that they know the people that aren't following this guy are not going to be happy about? Because this is going to get out in the news. It's not like you're paying this dude to put something on his social media and only the people that follow him are going to see it. No, it's going to blow up. Especially when it comes to trans dudes putting on makeup. Dylan Mulvaney blew that one out of the water. Every time that happens, anytime over the next 1-2 years, it's going to be in the news. People are going to be talking about it. And you are at risk from just blowing a hole in the bottom of your company's boat and sinking to the bottom. With this being Maybelline, it's a little bit different. It's not necessarily Bud Light, majority male audience. You're dealing with females on this one. But let's be honest, I think a lot of females think that stuff's weird too. I don't know many females, and I don't want to speak for Trish, or I don't want to speak for your wife, but I can't imagine females looking at this guy and saying to themselves, oh, that's so beautiful. I really want to get my hands on some of that makeup. That this guy looks so, look at him. Would you look at that? Now look at this face. For those of you that are female watching this, do you see this guy putting on this makeup and think to yourself, oh my goodness, I got to get my hands on some of that? Or is your thought, oh my goodness, I need to make sure I keep this guy away from my children? Maybe it's just me. I don't know. But it kind of weirds me out. Again, y'all know we're from the thought process. This grown dude wants to dress like a woman and put on makeup. It's fine. He's an adult. As long as there's no intermingling with children, he can do what he wants to do. But it doesn't mean I'm not allowed to think it's weird. And it doesn't mean I'm not allowed to think it's a ridiculous marketing ploy on behalf of Maybelline or Bud Light or whoever. It's ridiculous. You can pander. You can pander to whatever part of your audience you want to, but if that pandering involves isolating another part of your audience, another part of your clients, well, you're just going to have to decide, cuzzy. You're picking and choosing at that point. And any smart business person who's got a diverse group of people purchasing their product, they're not going to go through and pick and choose who they pander to or who they're going to make feel included. That's what this stuff does. And again, maybe we're just reaching into a generation of maybe not business owners, but people that are working for major businesses and calling the shots on marketing, just being absolutely clueless and not understanding how society feels about a lot of this stuff. But if they want to ruin their own company, I say go for it. Again, not to allude that this guy putting on makeup is, creepy or has any intentions of doing anything nefarious with children. It's not as if I accused him of sniffing children like the alleged president does or caressing the face of young girls. It's not like I accused him of doing that. Joe Biden, on the other hand, as I told you, he's at the NATO summit. He was leaving. He's headed back to the U.S. He may be back already. I don't know. But on his way out, he wanted to talk to some of the locals. And several of those locals were younger children, young teenagers, even pre-teenagers. And Joe Biden never misses an opportunity to lean into these young people, especially young girls, sniff their hair, and caress their face. It's kind of Joe Biden's thing. He's been doing it for a long time. Here's Joe Biden just earlier today. Leaning in, sniffing a kid, talking to the mom, making the mom feel comfortable. Make sure nobody gets freaked out as he leans in, picks his hands up, and begins to caress the face of this young child. Y'all saw that, right? Look at this. Hold on. Hands up. Rubs the face of this kid who he does not know. It's not a grandchild. It's not his daughter, which still is creepy. He's rubbing the face of random children overseas. Now, that's the guy that you want to keep away from your children. Can you imagine we're having to say that? That the president of the United States is somebody that you would have to keep away from your children. When's the last time? I mean, even with Bill Clinton, you could at least say to yourself, okay, well, he's obviously, he's into younger women, but at least they're of age. Well, I take that back. I forgot. I forgot his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. But you know what I'm saying. And of course, the left, the media, They think nothing of it. They actually, when it comes to Joe Biden, no matter how creepy he is, no matter how many heads he sniffs, no matter how many faces he caresses of young people, no matter how many sandbags he falls over or how many times he trips up the stairs getting onto Air Force One, it's not his fault. According to Morning Joe, according to Mika Brzezinski, it is not Joe Biden's fault that all these things are happening. It's actually the fault of his very own staffers.
Yeah, I think his staff needs to own his age. I'm just going to be honest. I don't think they do a good job helping out the president. And I'm not talking about it like, I'm just saying if you are managing a president's schedule and you are managing a president getting on stage and getting off stage and getting on planes and getting off planes, and yes, he's 80. You need to be there for him and you need to make a pathway. And you sure as hell better make sure he doesn't fall on a sandbag. And I blame the staff for that. I mean, these are the things that are going to hurt him. These are things that are going to be played on a loop. Okay? Let him do his job. Let him do his speeches. Let him work on policy. Let him do his connections in Congress, unlike any president that we've seen, I don't know, since Clinton. But my God, make sure, your Secret Service, you're his staff, that you were there and you're telling him what's next. And it's not because, don't take this as, oh, he can't even get from one place to another. When you're busy and you're on stage, and we've been on stage, right. I've done speeches and I'm so nervous. I'm doing the speech. I'm trying to get it right. And when it's done, I don't know which way to go. And I'm looking for direction. So do a better job. Because you can't have these video images of the president tripping or the president going the wrong way. It's not going to work in this presidency because his age is going to be a factor. His age is going to be a factor, and it's your job to make sure he gets from one place to another. He can handle the presidency. You have to handle his schedule and where he goes.
Well, and the scheduling.
It makes me mad.
The scheduling is so important.
Oh, it makes me so mad. Makes me mad that his staffers are not showing him where to go and keeping him from tripping over sandbags. I hate to break it to you, but I don't care how many staffers Joe Biden has. They're not going to be able to help him not look old, feeble, confused, and riddled with dementia. It's not going to work. I don't care how many uppers they've got to put this guy on before each speech. There is nothing they can do to stop what. Can you imagine the frustration of being, whether it's an administration staffer or a Secret Service agent? Can you imagine the frustration that those people must go through on a regular basis? And of course, they're all probably professionals. I don't know about the staffers, but definitely Secret Service guys. Super professional guys that are having to essentially babysit. Now, Secret Service agents, especially the ones that are surrounding the president, these guys are tasked with one thing in particular, which is taking a bullet for the president. If there were an assassination attempt, Secret Service is tasked with getting out in front of that bullet to protect the president with their life. Imagine being one of those guys. Imagine your job is to follow this old man around who has no idea where he's going and just to make sure he doesn't fall down. At least a president that was under attempted assassinations would be an exciting job. Be on the lookout, watch out for the bad guys, make sure that doesn't happen. But these guys are just tasked with a fall risk patient and making sure this guy doesn't poop his pants. Imagine the training they went through, everything they had to go through in their career to get to that point. And they're like, yes, we're going to station you at the White House for this administration. You're going to be watching after Joe Biden. Good luck. Thank you for your service. Make sure to get him his pudding at 2 p.m., diaper change at 3, nap time at 4. That's gotta suck, man. That's gotta suck. And on top of that, these guys are used as political pawns. For instance, we find out today what? That the Secret Service has officially closed their investigation into the White House Coke, Blowgate. Somebody said that was Bill Clinton's deal. But, Tootgate, as we called it. The Secret Service is like, yeah, we got like 500 people that it could be, but it's Thursday, and, weekend's coming up, so we're going to go ahead and close this investigation. We're not going to know who it was that brought the blow into the White House. The Secret Service, either one, knows who it is already, or two, could easily find out but have been stopped from finding out. They are not being allowed to do their jobs, likely because of who the Coke actually belongs to. And as a matter of fact, Lauren Boebert was in a SCIF meeting with Secret Service, talking to them about this incident. And guess what she found out? She found out that not only once, not twice, but thrice times, drugs have been found in the White House in the past year, ladies and gentlemen. 3 times. You hear me? She says that, let's see, where were her comments? She said, this is the 3rd time drugs have been found in the White House property since 2022. And we didn't even hear about the marijuana. Says she cited 2 other instances from the past year in which marijuana was found, a fact that she argued was not adequately reported or addressed. So 3 times since last year, marijuana and cocaine. And, we've all got kind of lax views on marijuana, and it's getting more widely legal around the U.S. these days. But 3 times? 3 times we found drugs in the White House. The first 2 times we didn't hear about it. And then the 3rd time, it's like, okay, we'll finally, it's fine, whatever. We'll tell you about it. Maybe it's Joe's. Maybe it's Hunter's. Maybe it's Kamala's. Of course, if it was Kamala Harris's cocaine, they would probably just go ahead and let somebody know. As a matter of fact, Kamala Harris is likely the sole person, the one person that is keeping Joe Biden in the Oval Office. You really think about that. Whenever you hear Kamala Harris come out and speak, you start to understand why Joe Biden's still president and they haven't just asked him to step down. Because that would mean Kamala Harris would be president. An example of that is her today, speaking on the issue of AI, artificial intelligence. Listen to her explain to you what AI actually stands for.
And I think the first part of this issue that should be articulated is AI is kind of a fancy thing. It's, first of all, it's 2 letters. It means artificial intelligence. But ultimately what it is it's about machine learning. And so the machine is taught. And part of the issue here is what information is going into the machine that will then determine, and we can predict then, if we think about what information is going in, what then will be produced in terms of decisions and opinions that may be made through that process.
AI stands for artificial intelligence. The artificial is what the A stands for, and the intelligence, the I is what the intelligence stands for. And really, it has to do with machines that do machine things. You understand? Kamala Harris is the reason Joe Biden's still president. He should be thanking his lucky stars for such an incompetent vice president, because nobody wants this lady. Nobody wants this lady, but also nobody wants Joe Biden. That's the one thing everybody, right, left, can agree on, is the fact that they would do anything to keep Kamala Harris out of the White House. That's why Mika Brzezinski and Morning Joe are defending Joe Biden, blaming staffers, and everything else. They don't want Kamala Harris. They do want somebody else besides Joe, but they got to wait for the right time. They need Joe to hang on till 2024. In the meantime, they'll get it figured out. They're going to find somebody to replace Joe. Joe doesn't know it yet, but Joe's not running for president in 2024. If he attempts to, he'll get knocked out in the primary because the DNC already rigs their elections, and somebody else will be up to bat. Will it be Gavin Newsom? Who knows? Maybe it will, maybe it won't. But we'll be all over it all the way through. This has been Over the Line Hot Takes. Make sure you catch all of our content at AndrewMcLeanWho.com. All of our socials, our YouTube, our Rumble, it's all right there. Make sure you subscribe, like, share, show some love. And we'll keep on going. Back on the radio tomorrow, Talk 99.5. Y'all check us out. And until then, see you, cuz.